The Nation Security Council and the Secretary General have called on Myanmar to halt their military operations and end the violence against Rohingyas. The UN Security Council discussed the situation in Myanmar at a closed-door meeting. It condemned the violence in Rakhine state that has led to the displacement of over 250,000 people. The Security Council called on Myanmar government to facilitate the long-term solution to the crisis, including implementation of the recommendations of KOFI ANNAN committee. Earlier, Secretary General Antonio Guterres appealed to the Myanmar government to stop the violence and allow Rohingyas to return home.
Aid activities by UN agencies and international non-governmental organizations have been severely disrupted. I call on the Myanmar authorities to suspend military action, end the violence, uphold the rule of law, and recognize the right of return of all those who had to leave the country.
And the statement came even as thousands of Rohingyas continued to pour into refugee camps in Bangladesh. People carrying children, the aged and the belongings walked hundreds of kilometers to the camps near the border with Myanmar. The exodus has been non-stop since the Myanmar security forces launched their counter-offensive to the August 25th attack by Rohingya terrorists on police post and at an army camp. As situation turns critical in Myanmar and other camps in Bangladesh face a shortage of supplies, Indonesia sent 4 Hercules planes full of aid and supplies. The Indonesian president flagged off the supplies to the Myanmar-Bangladesh border. Rice, instant food, family kits, water, tents and clothing were also sent for the refugees.
Pada pagi hari ini akan diberangkatkan oleh pesawat Hercules yang di dalamnya ada beras, ada bantuan makanan siap saji, ada family kits, ada tangki air, tenda untuk pengungsi, serta pakaian anak, serta selimut. Karena memang barang-barang inilah yang sangat diperlukan.
And the Indian government, meanwhile, has brushed off the criticism over its intention to deport 40,000 Rohingyas who have been living illegally in India. The government says some of them could be security risks, even as rights groups are demanding a rethink.
The Ministry has time and again reiterated that India's position as far as the Rohingya settlements in India are concerned is very clear. They have to go back, and that also equally applies to the Rohingyas who have got illegally settled in different parts of the country, including Jammu and Kashmir. And I'm sure there's no ambiguity about it.
Who is, illegal, calling them an illegal migrant, especially when you know that the only reason they are here is because they're fleeing war, violence, threats. That has scared people because they're now unsure what will happen. Will they throw us out in the middle of the night again? And that is unacceptable. You cannot do that to a people who have been hunted down.
ऐसे हालात में अगर सरकार से बर्मा के हालत जब बहुत बुरे हो रहा है और वहाँ के लोग जब निकलने की मजबूर हो रहा है, इस हालात में अगर ऐसे बयान आता है तो एक डर सा फीलिंग तो होता ही है।
यहाँ पे तो नहीं मरते हैं, इसलिए डर नहीं लगते है। बर्मा से मरते हैं ना, इसलिए डर लगते हैं। हाँ, डर लगता है वहाँ जाकर हम लोग, हमारा बच्चा की ज़िंदगी बर्बाद हो जाएगी, हमारा ज़िंदगी बर्बाद हो जाएगी, हमारा जो रिश्तेदार वो भी अभी ख़त्म हो गया, फिर हम लोग वहाँ कैसे जा सकता।